Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. I grew up on a whole lot of PBS. There's a reason for that. A lot of what was on television was just so stereotypical that my mother refused to have it play in our house. And it cast black folks in such a negative light. I can remember her yelling at the television, "Turn it off! You just turn it off!" "No, Mom, but there's black people. It's a black show." "No black people, talk like that." So yesterday I was just kind of going through my mental Rolodex and just saying some of the phrases, and I called a friend and I was like, "What you doing, you jive turkey, you?" And I couldn't stop myself. I was saying things like, "Who Dyn-o-mite?" and "What you talking about, Willis?" And the more I thought about it, I think if it's not anger and it's not frustration, it's just downright, what? And if truth be told, I'm PO'd about it, because what you learned about black folks and what I learned about black folks and our language and our behavior and our manners was written by white folks. It was their stereotypical idea of who we are and how we are. So much so that when people would meet me, they'd say, "But you're not typical. You're not like most black people. And not you. Well, how come you sound like a white person?" Really? The truth of the matter is, those ideas of who we are as black folks permeated the culture, not just for white people, but also for black and brown people and everybody else. There's this idea about African Americans going around the world about who we are and how we are, so much so that when people meet me, they think I'm exceptional, like I'm a Huxtable, because that was another stereotype. And for the most part, up until about mid to late 90s, there were very few black writers writing black lines. If you want a better reference, a funny reference, look at the movie "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker" by Robert Townsend. His humor really digs into this kind of stereotypical thing that happened in Hollywood and in TV land about how and who we are. Among black folks, my friends who are black, there's a conversation within where we make a lot of fun of that. We're laughing at it. "Stop right there, sugar." But that laughter is a coping mechanism to get through life. And the next time you know you're going to run into someone who thinks they're bonding with you by using that language. I called my mother Mommy. I called her Mom. There was no mama going on in my house. And you have to laugh. Alice Walker said, "There's a point at which even grief becomes absurd. And at that point, laughter gushes up to retrieve the sanity." It is the sanity-retrieving humor that we use to get through the Jive Turkey conversation. The solid on that, Mac. And when we see people who want to insist, well, rappers use that word as if it gives them an okay to use the word, and as if they've ever heard me use the word or any of these words. It's another one of those cuts in those 1,000 cuts. It's that slow boil that we learn to cope with and deal with just to get into the next day. That in private on a call amongst ourselves, we laugh while saying words like amongst. But it's not funny. At the end of the day, and at the beginning of the morning, we need to get close enough to learn the truth. And we need to begin to write our own stories in our own language so that the next time people meet you or me, they know that there's no exceptionality, that we are just like everybody else we know, doing what our parents told us to do, to run 3 times harder, work 3 times longer, to do our work to the best we can possibly do, so that we can just be seen as average. I love you, you jive turkey, you.